Good day, everyone. It's the 30th of September. I'm in Baranovichi, Belarus, and luckily I'm out here in the morning. Maybe I can get this video up today before, not before the people in the United States wake up. I made a video yesterday. It's more of just a little bit of a comedy sort of thing about all these alphabet people, you know, the BLMs and the LBGT plus, things like that. So anyway, this time it'll be a little bit more serious. We're talking about the this Nordstream 1 and 2 destruction, and a lot of people have their theories, and most of them are accurate because most of them, you know, they allude to who obviously is involved in this, at least involved, maybe even the only culprit. Maybe there's multiple culprits. Maybe they all ganged up together. If you see some of these other things that happen in history, such as with JFK and all that, so light is bad. You know that a lot of people were involved in that. But to what extent? Some people on their deathbed, as they were literally dying, admitted that they were involved in it. So I guess to clear their conscience before meeting their maker. So you know that that was not above board. It was not. Was not the official story, is what we say. And this, the real culprits and all that, that'll come out sometime, but it might come out in a number of years. It might make it on page 30 of the newspaper, so to speak, or it'll be mentioned for one day, and then it'll be gone, or nobody will just care anymore, and then you'll find out who really sabotaged those pipelines. Probably people that profess to care about the environment, and you're talking about, you know, how many tons and tons of methane gas, at least, were released into the atmosphere. You know, they talk about getting rid of all cows on Earth and all that. And then you have Bill Gates, for example, who loves beef. He's practically addicted to beef. And I come from his hometown, so I know a lot about that. And let's just say somebody I was very close to me used to eat breakfast with him, and he ate beef for breakfast. He loves beef so much. And mostly what he's doing is he's trying to buy up all this farmland and then make it non-productive, or hire the people on, in some cases, to be peasants. It's just like feudalism. I guess that's the great reset, to reset back to the times of feudalism. And you know, the owners of the land are now being paid like slave labor to watch over that land. Bill Gates also was he was the one that wanted to make some big giant hose and spray toxic chemicals out into the atmosphere to reflect the rays of the sun to cool the atmosphere. And you know, these people profess to want to get rid of CO2. And if you look at the formula for photosynthesis, what is the first chemical mentioned on there? And the formula for photosynthesis is essentially the formula for life on planet Earth. And then they want to get rid of CO2, and they're telling you, and matter of fact, a lot of people are brainwashed into believing CO2 is a pollutant. You know, but these people, they care nothing about pollution. They talk about global warming. And then a lot of them are the same people that probably are standing behind sabotaging that pipeline. You know, really nasty stuff. But it just lets you know that these people are just creating some sort of a narrative to suit their agenda. And their agenda, as you know, is complete and total dominance over everybody. Control. Control is probably the main word here. Wealth is control, and control is control. Politicians, billionaires. And if I've never known any billionaires, to be honest with you. I've never met Bill Gates, but people I know, of course, have known Bill Gates. But I've known millionaires. I've known, I suppose, smaller millionaires. I've met the wives of some billionaires, but not what you think. Not what you think. No, I didn't. Nothing. No, it's just that some sort of light business dealings with their spouses or something. And, you know, I was in 2 businesses on my own in one country, so you don't know much about me. So I'm just some joker sitting on YouTube telling you a whole bunch of facts, but I've had some connections too. Back in the past, for example, one of these sort of how do I say this, connections I could possibly make with this attack on the Nordstream pipelines is what we had even in the 1980s when I was in military. We had these they're like laser pointers. I've actually never even seen one of these myself, but I know that we had them. But you point at a target. For example, the people in my unit, they're trained with this, and they were trained to go behind enemy lines and to carry out certain operations like this. But you point at a target. You take one of these military laser pointers, and you point it and you press the button, and it marks the target. And then at that time, and I don't know for how long, or if there is any kind of a time limit for when these targets get marked as when they can send a bomb anywhere from the United States and hit this target. And this comes from the 1980s even. When I was in the Army, this was I believe the late 80s is when I had first heard about this. And then any of you, if you can look deep enough into the internet, and you can find out to get a start on Wikipedia even, look up the name Raymond Davis. And Raymond Davis is not his real name, of course. He was CIA, and that was his name for the CIA, and he was an operative in Pakistan under the Obama administration. And Obama was just about ready to go to war against Pakistan because the Pakistanis captured him, and he had killed 2 police officers. And one of the things that they had in his possession was one of these laser pointers. And he was supposedly the person that ran the CIA operations in Pakistan. And for some odd reason, I don't know if you can find this either, but you can search for Obama during his time as running for president. I remember he was virtually planning and saying he wanted to go to war against Pakistan. And the only reason why I would think he would do that is I think at some point they thought that Pakistan was not cooperating enough to help them against their fight on terrorism, of Taliban or whatever like that, at that time in neighboring Afghanistan. I suppose so. I don't know, but Barack Obama, for some odd reason, had some seething hatred of Pakistan. And you'll remember that he also, at one time, had a strike, and I think he killed 86 or 89 police officers on the border police, during his presidency, with one of his drones. You know how he loved drones, and I don't know how many children he killed with drone strikes. But yeah, he's a great guy, Look at what he did with the economy. And all of this stuff that's going on in Ukraine, that started during the Obama time, believe it or not, under, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. They had big business dealings there, and the Biden family in general. So this stuff, a lot of these problems that you have going on today, that started in the Obama time. And it's not that I hate Obama. Obama did good things. It's not that I love Trump. Trump did some bad things too. So I'm trying to be impartial on that. But you have to put fault where fault lies, I suppose. Know them by their fruits. By their fruits you shall know them. And then even if they smile a lot and say how much they love everybody, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So watch what they do and not what they say. So anyway, it's a nice day here, and a lot of nice colors. Right near a school, you see some kids running back here, and it's actually kind of warm. I could probably take this coat off. So we're gonna have some warm days here in Belarus. I remember seeing a podcast, or I guess you would call it a walkabout, from I. Earl Grey. He is a British citizen, I believe, and he's based in St. Petersburg, and that's much further north. As you know, sometimes you don't even have the sun go down up there, it's so far north. but he was walking out around in a t-shirt when we were wearing coats here. So I saw another podcast from him just a few days ago. He's walking around in a coat, but technically I can take this coat off, maybe just walk around in a thick shirt, I don't know. So it's going to get warmer today. It's still in the morning, but I hope it's all warm where you guys are at, everybody watching. And I have to make a video sometime because about everybody should be watching out for themselves. We have all these billionaires and politicians, and they're all out for themselves. They're not out for our well-being. We're just tools or pawns or cannon fodder for serving their agendas. And look at Germany. Look at what's going to happen. These politicians are never going to freeze, but the people, they're not going to be able to afford their energy bills. I talked to somebody in Holland, and Holland doesn't have the problems of Germany. This person I spoke to, it was on social media, on WhatsApp, and he was in sort of a bathrobe, it looked like, and it was when it was in the morning time. Well, it's earlier over there, a couple hours difference than here. And he said he is using, because he's got a meter that tells him how much energy he's using in heating, and he said he's using about 17 euros a month, but he's paying 70, which means he's probably supposed to get that back. I wouldn't even bet on that, because I'm thinking everybody's going to probably be squeezed now. Maybe not in Russia, but here, even in Belarus a little bit. I'm not sure how they made this gas deal for us to have energy here. Of course, it's much lower than it is in Germany. And the gas deal that Germany made to get energy from Russia, it doesn't mean it's Russia's fault, but it's a bunch of idiots, a bunch of idiot politicians, as you know, a bunch of greedy people, and sabotage, diplomatic sabotage by the United States. So, and what did Joe Biden just say? What is this, February 2nd? He said that Nordstream 2 will not operate, no matter what. So, and then somebody asked him, well, how are you going to do that? He says, believe me, we have ways. And lo and behold, Victoria Nuland said the same thing. And I suppose there's another interview about Condoleezza Rice during the time of Obama. And Condoleezza Rice is a Republican. And she was, of course, urging Obama administration at that time and saying, you have to stop that. So they've been hoping and probably planning to end the Nord Stream 2 for quite some time now. And now it's happened. And you had people protesting in Germany all over, turn on Nord Stream 2, turn on Nord Stream 2. So now they can't protest. So that's a good way to stop the protests about people demanding that Nord Stream 2 gets turned on, so that they don't have to pay so much. They're paying, some people, or some places I've heard, is over 300% more for their energy bills. A lot of people, their retirement, the entire retirement pay has to go to their heating bill, and then you can't buy food or nothing. So I don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you. I'm just hearing some of these horror stories about what's going on in Germany. And it's now been released that Germany borrowed $200 billion very quietly from the United States. And where all that's going to go, your guess is as good as mine. And some of it should hopefully go to the people, at least, to pay their energy bills. But also remember, if you haven't got this news yet, that I think it's the very day, or at least the day before, one of that, when they blew up these pipelines, the very day before, or on that very day, another pipeline just got inaugurated from Norway to Poland. And there was one very high-ranking official in the Polish government, when they heard that the pipeline, they posted a photo of this natural gas pouring out into the ocean, this big bubble that is miles wide, on their Twitter account, I believe, and they said, "Thank you, USA." So, how do they know the USA did that? Immediately they said USA, but then now the USA is saying Russia. Everybody's talking about Q Bono, who benefits, And who benefits more from this? The USA. The USA benefits more than anybody. You can say Poland as well. Nobody's blaming Poland for some reason. Nobody's suspecting Poland. And Ukraine. So it benefits Poland, Ukraine, and the USA more than anyone. You know, it might benefit Germany because nobody can protest anymore, demanding to turn on Nordstream 2 because it doesn't exist anymore. All we can do right now is take care of ourselves individually. You have to do that. I have to do that. And you definitely don't want to rely on the government. Family, friends, depending on where you're at. The United States hasn't yet gotten the brunt of all this, but it's going to be coming around too. So I should be making more videos about that. Anybody should. A lot of people are. They're talking about a great financial collapse. But anyway, instead of being so long-winded, I'll just end right now. And again, be sure to like and subscribe. And at some point I'm going to get better on these videos, so I think I've already mentioned that. So, and thank you for watching.